What's up, YouTube? It's Jordan Martin with Martin Stock Club and Martin Investment Group. Here are 4 stocks I'm looking at for tomorrow. And as always, like, comment, share, subscribe. This video helps you out. So CSIQ is my first one. SPY, the whole market was pretty much a sea of red yesterday. Tons and tons of drop based on the CPI data that came out. And PPI comes out tomorrow morning, or the 13th is today, the 14th is tomorrow. All right, so 14th, we have data coming out for PPI. We'll see how that affects the market. But barring that, looking purely off technicals, CSIQ did finish green today. It bounced off a support level that we see right here. All right, previously resistance, 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 turned to support, support again today. So I'm looking at taking calls potentially if we make new highs on CSIQ. Our high today was 4260. So I'm looking at 42. We could take 4270 for a clean break above the high, and we could look at carrying it on up. Let's move over to T-Mobile, which was on my watch list previously. All right, so I think T-Mobile was on yesterday's watch list for puts, if not the day before. Put triggered here at 142.30, ultimately dropped down about another $5. So beautiful put play, lots of money to be made there. And it came right here to rest at this support level. So we got two options here. One, we can break below and look to start coming to close that gap. So that low of today was 137.48. And we just set one off at 137.35. That'll trigger that. And then we can look at potentially closing the gap or coming to about the 50 level on the gap, which could also turn into a spot. So target would be 136, right, on that break of the low. I doubt we're going to look at any highs or a bounce off this support level and make new highs. But if we do, or whenever we do, I'm going to leave this alert floating here at 143.50. And so whenever we do come back to break above here, then I can look for a gap fill to get us right about there. All right. Let's go on over to MCK. Okay, so another one that had a big drop, came and ended up resting at this resistance turn to support. All right. And I'm just looking at MCK, same thing as T-Mobile. If we can get a move up, then it's possible. It depends on PPI numbers. But other than that, we did break and close below this daily trend line. So you can look for a continuation to the downside, start heading back down to here. This is about what's that, about $10, $11 worth of movement. So I'm gonna set an alert for a break of this low. Again, this will just be assuming that we don't get some crazy gap down with our PPI data. So I'm just gonna put it at 347. Let's put it at 346.95, just so it has some room to break that low. I'm gonna give us a nice real break and not just a little wick. And then lastly, ORCL, which had a very nasty candle today. It had earnings, printed out this candle where we shot up, rejected right here, and then we ended up forming this huge bearish pin bar on a daily. So I'm gonna look at puts on this one, of course, below 75.75. All right, I did 75.75 because it's cool. But the big component is that we're going to come and we're going to be testing this open right here. So I'm just going to let that trigger so I can see how we handle testing this open level here. Once we start breaking down, then I'm going to look at us coming down here. We've previously found resistance, 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 support, support, resistance, resistance, right? So key price level right here, about 74.50-ish, 74.75. So that's what I'll be looking at for ORCL. And that's a wrap, right? There's always other stocks I'm looking at that we share on my daily watch list emails. You can get those in the description and in the Discord. We call these trades and we trade every day. We have live Zoom classes. We do live trading and so much more to help everybody get better and become better traders. So hit the description, see what you want to get into. And as always, thank you for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe. This is Jordan Martin with Martin Stock Club and Martin Investment.